Your videos probably suck, but that's okay. We constantly scroll social media and other online platforms every single day, and we come into contact with really, really strong videos and the polar opposite. We see bad videos as well. And there are certain aspects of each of these videos that we're engaging with that make us gravitate towards either liking them or disliking them. So today, I'd like to go through some things that make up a bad video, and then we're going to go into a few points that make a stronger video and how you can actually implement this into the content that you're producing. One of the big things I've noticed in videos that are less liked by many people is the pacing. As you watch a video that you're enjoying, I want you to really pay attention to how long each clip plays out for within the actual video sequence. What you'll notice is that with videos, just like in real life, we like to keep things interesting. And the best way to keep things interesting is by having a variety of lengths of your clips in your videos. To be fully transparent, when I was just starting, I would find the song that I'm going to use for the edit. I would find all of the beats, whether it be every half second, second and a half, whatever I wanted to cut on. And then I would make every single clip at that exact length throughout the entire edit of the video. Now, I might have had some cool shots in there, but it didn't matter because the video was so predictable that as you were watching, you knew what was coming, and it just gets boring. So on the flip side of that, if you'd like to spice things up, adjust your pacing. Have some longer clips, have some shorter clips, some medium length clips, mix things up, and you'll have a much stronger video. The second thing in a lot of videos that don't perform well is their length. It's really important when you're working, especially for a client, to consider who the target audience is. For example, if I was marketing to a 14-year-old, I'd want a lot shorter, faster, trendy video than I would if I was marketing to, say, a 50-year-old. Understand your audience and then make a video catered towards that demo of people, and it'll perform a lot better and resonate a lot stronger with that audience when they see it. The last thing I wanted to touch on is variety shots. When you're just getting started, it's so easy to get caught up in doing the same type of shot and not constantly pushing your boundaries. In poor videos, let's think of an event recap, for example. You might see a lot of shots of the exact same thing. A classic example would be a wide shot that shows a venue and someone having a good time, usually showing everything from their head down to their feet. But the problem that arises in a lot of poor videos is that you will see the shot over and over and over again, and once again, it gets boring. So as you get more and more advanced, obviously you start practicing with different lenses, different angles, things like that. But when you're shooting, I would just be really cautious and pay attention to how much of the same thing you're capturing. How can you show the exact same moment, the same idea, but from a different way? Maybe you punch in closer. Maybe you show someone's shadow instead of their actual body. Maybe you're recording their feet dancing instead of them dancing. And then when you have all these elements and you add them together, it strengthens that original shot so much more than just by having a bunch of the same shot. Now, to turn a page and talk about the things that I've noticed stand out a lot in good videos, first thing I want to touch on is audio. What you'll notice from a poor video to a really strong video, if we stay on the idea of events, is the amount of audio that takes you through the experience. Similar to how movies add sound effects for everything and it feels so natural, even though in real life you don't actually hear half of the things that you're hearing in the movie. Something as little as adding a little bit of ambient audio from a shotgun mic or even adding in sound effects in post can go a long way. Another thing that stands out in strong videos is properly set exposure. Make sure you take the time to really understand how your camera sensor works, figure out ISO, shutter speed, aperture, and how much to expose for on your multimeter. And once you start hitting this consistently, the strength of your video will improve tremendously. And it's all simply based on setting your exposure right. Last but not least, something that I've been playing a lot with recently is how many varieties of angles can you get while you're shooting. Every time I shoot, I like to push myself to get as many as I can possibly get. Kind of like what I was saying before, where poor videos don't have a lot of variety. Good videos do. Consider the role of your subject. Maybe a low angle is more applicable than a neutral angle. Or maybe you're shooting something more vulnerable, for example, say a yoga class, and it doesn't make as much sense to be right in their face. Instead, you can position yourself behind another person shooting through their arms. You can even find a plant to put in the foreground, so then it looks more like you're a fly on the wall and you're observing something natural and beautiful instead of being there forced with the camera in the face. These are just things I like to run through my head while I'm shooting, just to kind of push that boundary and have more material when it gets to the editing side of things. But yeah, hopefully this gives you something that you can apply to your videos to then in turn make them stronger. And feel free to comment below any things that you notice that make a video stand out or do the opposite.